Hey guys, and welcome to the Human Reset. So let's talk about willpower and breaking bad habits. Now, the first and foremost thing you have to consider is that you need to rely as little as possible, and I repeat, as little as possible on willpower, on sheer willpower to break bad habits. Now, why is that? Research shows that people who believe have the most willpower, who are very proud of that, are, as a paradox, the most likely to give in when they face a temptation. Also, they are the same ones who are most likely to be surprised by setbacks when they're trying to do something and they fail, and that in turn will cause them to give up. So relying solely on willpower, most of the time on willpower, that is a losing strategy. I am definitely not saying do not use willpower, do not train willpower, but it should not be your main focus. So what is the main focus? Well, if we are to reduce everything to a very, very simple principle, is this: control your environment the best you can. So what does that mean, controlling your environment? At the end of the day, it's quite simple. To the best of your ability, or to the best of our ability, we need to make sure that, within our context, within our home, our workplace, or wherever you hang out the most, whatever we're trying to escape, whatever bad habit we're trying to break, doesn't have a lot of triggers, doesn't have a lot of cues in that environment, right? So for example, you're trying to quit, drinking alcohol, you're not gonna have a bunch of booze lying around all around your apartment or even your workplace, right? If you're trying to quit smoking, same thing. If you're trying to quit, like unhealthy eating, you're not gonna stack your pantry with a lot of, fast foods or a lot of snacks, sugary drinks, etc., etc. You get the principle, and it goes for basically anything else. Now, why is that? Because we're most likely to give in when we're tired, when we're stressed, when we feel lonely, when we feel emotionally distressed. So that happens quite a lot. For most people, that happens on a daily basis, or, quite often, if not daily. So what we need to do is just prepare ourselves for what's coming. That's I believe, a winning strategy. The one thing that most of us, underestimate is there's a constant battle between our frontal cortex, right? This is the modern part of the brain that helps us make decisions, that, keeps our cool. That's the rational and more evolved part of the brain, and the reptilian part of the brain, which is basically based on impulse. Now, the reptilian part of the brain has its function, right? First and foremost, it keeps us safe. You're supposed to get away from a threat if the threat is real. You're also supposed to, give in to some impulses when, for example, you're looking for food and food is scarce. You're supposed to feel pleasure when you find it. However, in the modern society, this backfires a lot, because for most of us, again, just for most of us, food is not scarce, and most of us have a problem overindulging in different activities and overindulging in bad eating or smoking or alcohol or stuff like that. So that's really important to remember. Also, and this is really, really essential, you need to choose your battles. We need to choose our battles. What does that mean? It's quite very simple. If you're trying to break a bad habit, just focus on that one bad habit. Do not focus on 3 or 5 or 7 bad habits at a time. It's very tempting. You have a resolution, like a New Year's resolution, and you go and you say, I'm gonna start working out, I'm gonna stop smoking, I'm gonna start, sleeping more, I'm gonna watch less TV, and you go about doing all these things at the same time. Now, again, this is not a winning strategy. That's not gonna get you very far. So what can we do is take one bad habit at a time. So for example, if you're trying to watch less TV, just focus on that. Because if you come home after work and you're tired and you're stressed and you realize all of a sudden, I can't smoke, I can't eat my favorite snack, and I can't watch TV, something not good is going to happen. You're gonna do all of those things, or, some of those things. So it's not the way you wanna go. What you wanna do is just take your time, take it slowly, and take them just one habit at a time. Even though we have the best intentions, relapse happens. So, when you're on a journey of breaking a bad habit, more often than not we relapse. So what do we do then? So for most of us, I would say almost automatic response is shame and blaming ourselves. Now again, research and psychology shows that that is probably the worst thing we can do for both ourselves and the success of this project we're trying to get a hold of breaking this bad habit. So what we can do in that situation is just treat the relapse with two things: that's self-compassion and forgiveness. And again, this is not going to come natural at first, but the more we practice, the easier it's going to get. So I would suggest that whenever you relapse, whenever you're doing something that you're not supposed to do, be mindful about what just happened, but try to the best of your ability to just be, forgiving with yourself and, have self-compassion. And that's going to get you so much further than blame or self-guilt will ever do. So just to wrap up, guys, I'm going to try to give you a very, very simple hack that you can use when facing, a trigger that's going to lead to you engaging with a bad habit. And that's as simple as slowing down your breath. I know this has been talked a lot, but it's just such a simple technique, and you can do it for as little as 1 or 2 minutes and the results are just amazing. So what you can do is basically slow down your breath to 4 to 6 breaths a minute. So a full inhale and a full exhale should last anywhere from 10 to 15 seconds. Now, this is key, and this is really, really important. Try to have your exhale a bit longer, maybe 1 second or 2 seconds longer than the inhale, because that will really activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest natural state of our physiology, and that's the perfect state you want to be in if you're trying to control a bad habit. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next time. Be safe.